Get me that signal. We need more power.
Avast, ye scurvy dogs. I be the pirate ghost captain, Scabs. That's right, I said ghost. I'm here to find out if you're good enough to join me crew of dastardly demons and swashbuckling spooks. I've lost a few crew to the never-ending parties of adventurers that are always coming after me secret treasure. I don't understand it at all. I've lived a good piratey life, pillaging and plundering, and stashed all of me treasure where no one could ever find it. After all, it's my treasure, you know. I'm the one who stole every last coin and ruby, and yet everyone is always trying to sneak on me ship, banish me crew, and find out where me treasure is. Anyway, are you ready for the test? It doesn't really matter because you won't be leaving me ship regardless. But it would help me to know if you're going to be a ghost cook, or a ghost deckhand, or a ghost whatever. So this is what we're gonna do. I've got a game here to show you, and we are gonna play. This is a Pathfinder game, and it will tell me the best job suited for you on me ship, the Infernal. I'm very proud of this ship. It takes a lot to get it looking just spooky enough to scare off the riffraff. I want you to think of me ship as your home now, like your own little hotel. Just remember, you can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Now let's get playing.
Welcome to the second set of the Pathfinder adventure card game, Skull and Shackles. It brings about many new changes to the Pathfinder card game, while keeping many things the same. The biggest change is the thematic setting. We've moved into the land of ships and plunder and pirates, so you can expect to be taken on a year-long adventure, well, it's really 6 months, on the high seas. The basic layout of the game is the same as Rise of the Runelords. You get this huge box right here, and if you play through the whole adventure, that box will be filled with cards by the end of your 6 months play session. Or year, however long it takes them to release these 6 adventure packs. The base set includes over 500 cards and 7 character classes to choose from, including the new Gunslinger, Magus, Oracle, and Swashbuckler classes. This base set includes enough cards for 1 to 4 players, and if you purchase the character add-on deck, which is right here, you'll be able to play with up to 6 players. The game comes with a few scenarios to get you used to the new cards and rules, and also the forced adventure, the Wormwood Mutiny, to start you off. The Pathfinder adventure card game is basically an adaptation of the Pathfinder role-playing game into its mechanical bits, making it a board game with a feeling of progression. Your characters get stronger, or they can be killed, and the challenges and quests get tougher, and the whole game has a campaign feel to it that hopefully leads to a climactic conclusion. But, of course, we won't know that until the last adventure pack is released. Now, part of this character progression was one of my complaints about Rise of the Runelords, the initial base set from the adventure card game line. You had to actually mark up your cards by checking off boxes on them as you earned different rewards. For example, see the little tiny boxes? You would check those boxes, right? Well, I don't like to mark on my cards. I hated it. Although, of course, it's not a big deal to most people. But then the problem was addressed by Paizo. You can go to their website and you can print out sheets for your characters where you can keep track of their progression separately and not worry about marking up the cards themselves. My base set even came with a pack of 10 card sleeves, which was awesome, which I placed my characters in, and then I was able to start using a crayon, see, shiny, use a crayon to mark the sleeve and not my card, and so then I didn't even have to worry about printing out character sheets. This was a nice touch that I appreciated. For those new to the game, each player will select a character to play and use the information on their character cards to build up a starting deck of cards to use while playing. Like, for example, here is the cards list for Lyrianne. 4 weapons cards, armor, 2 items, 3 allies. And as you gain in skills, you'll see you'll be able to get more cards in each type later on throughout playing all the adventures. The cards you get will be armor, weapons, items, allies, spells, blessings, and loot. As you play, you'll be using these cards. Sometimes you'll have to simply reveal the cards in your hand in order to use them, while other times you'll have to discard them. If at any time you completely run out of cards in your deck, you're dead. That's it. If all players die, you lose the scenario being played. But fear not, you can start over with a new character next time. Each session of play is a scenario, and you will generally play a single scenario during a play session. There's one overall adventure consisting of 5 or 6 scenarios, and once you defeat those, you can pick up the next adventure pack to play the next series. Adventure Pack 2, Raiders of the Fever Sea. Scenarios consist of villains, henchmen, locations, monsters, and barriers that you have to face. Your main goal is to trap and defeat the villain for that scenario so that next time you can move on to the next scenario. For you experienced players, the biggest confusion that I faced was the new ships. The theme is that you're sailing among a series of island locations, and so ships of different classes are provided for both you to command and for you to face in battle. Every scenario involves your party having their own ship to move around. You start with this merchantman here. Sometimes it's anchored and sometimes it moves from island to island, location boop, boop, as you take your turns. They suffer damage during battles and they can be wrecked. They can also carry plunder for you. Here's the rule to remember. If it's your turn and the scenario did not tell you that you are anchored somewhere, then the ship is with you and you're in command of it on your turn. Once your turn is over, the next player takes command and the ship is with them at whatever location they're at. If the ship is anchored, then you're only commanding the ship on your turn if you're at the location that it's anchored in. So if my ship was anchored at the shipwreck graveyard, well, I wouldn't be on it because there's nobody there. But if it was at Cannibal Isle, well, then Lyrianne would be commanding it because she is at Cannibal Isle. Other players can travel with you on the ship if they're in your location when you move, if they so choose. It took me some time to figure out what all that meant, so I hope it's clearer to you now than it was to me initially. And the other big thing is firearms. You have guns that you can use now. Pistols. But they're basically just like any other ranged weapon. The whole set is nautically and piratey themed, so firearms are expected. A lot of the rules questions were cleared up in this edition of the game, but of course there are tons of new cards and plenty of new rules questions. Plenty of them. The devil in this game lies in the minutia. It can take you a few minutes to figure out what a particular combination of mechanics is correct for each circumstance, as there are hundreds of possible card interactions, and they can't describe them all. There's already an official FAQ on the Paizo site, and that definitely helped. For the first few adventures, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out this or that rules nuance, but now in general I just go with what seems right based upon what I already know. So as you play the games, they do get faster as you get better. There's plenty of rules lawyers out there, as evidenced by the videos that I've seen or shot myself of the game being played. Most comments are of the, you should have used ability X when this changed because you were at location Y type comments. I say, don't sweat the small stuff. If you're having fun, don't spend 20 minutes trying to figure out something. Just make an educated guess and go on with it. I won't tell anybody. The best part is, of course, talking like a pirate as you play. Don't worry, it never gets annoying, despite what the other people in your group tell you. Each scenario should take less than 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. Even faster once you become an old pro. Skull and Shackles has pirate ghosts. So, hey, how can you go wrong? Arrrrggggh.
For those of you like me, who used to love playing role-playing games, but you no longer have the time to keep a campaign alive, this Pathfinder system is the answer for you. You get new content monthly, and it's the most organized play system that I've seen. For $20 each month, you get another 6 or more gaming sessions, and that's more than I'll play most games that I spend huge amounts of money on. I mean, everyone loves expansions to popular games because they give you new content to explore in a system that you've come to enjoy. And the Pathfinder ACG gives you all of this and more. I love playing the new Descent 2.0 system, but I must admit that since the Pathfinder ACG has no need for a dungeon master to run the game, it's more fun for everyone. If you can get past that analysis paralysis that you'll go through the first few sessions as people learn the new cards and characters, you'll find a richly rewarding experience. New to the Pathfinder ACG system is the class decks. The purpose of these decks is for you to use them in an organized play setting and not have to worry about taking your buddy's cards home with you. If you're playing a fighter and you pick up the fighter class deck, you'll be able to build your deck using the cards in your class deck rather than the base game box. Even if you earn new cards during play, you'll still be able to trade them out for cards in your class deck box and leave good old Fred's cards in the base game box where they belong. Thanks, Fred. You get to take your own cards home, and Fred won't worry about you losing his cards. I like the character add-on deck. Is it worth it? Yes, especially if you want to play with more than 4 people. After playing a couple adventurers, I realized that I needed a character who had a bit of intelligence on my side. The add-on deck introduced me to Damiel the Alchemist, and so far so good. The characters in the base box all seem like dolts in comparison. If you like getting together for a weekly gaming session, and you're not addicted to playing completely different games each week, then you should love playing Skulls and Shackles. I love the organization and the attention to detail and stuff that the game provides, especially the stuff, you know. It will take some dedication to get through all these adventures, but it can be done. This game is fun, and the theme just puts it over the top for me. Next time, I'm hoping for an undead-based game. Although I hear it has something to do with demons or something like that. Well, anyway. Thanks for joining me in this review of the Pathfinder adventure card game, Skull and Shackles base set. Let me know if you found this review helpful by leaving a comment or sending me an email at Elliot_Miller@voiceofe.com. There's 2 T's in it, you scallywag! And make sure to subscribe to the Voice of E channel on YouTube. Why won't you subscribe? Yes, as I'll have plenty of gaming, entertainment, and comic book coverage this year. Mostly gaming, okay? Let's be honest, I like doing these. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks again, and until next time, you keep your mind free.
Get me that signal. We need more power.